The war started in 1979 with the Soviet invasion and ended in the year 1989 when the defeated Soviet troops left Afghanistan. While it was a war for strategic gain for Soviet republics aiming expansion, it was also a revenge story for US and Pakistan against Russia, stemming from the lingering wounds of the US-Vietnam War and the 1971 war between Pakistan and India, which led to the separation of East Pakistan. In today's video, let us see why USA got involved in this battle and why did Pakistan take the leap so long to take weapons from once the most hated Israel. It sure was not just the geostrategy, but far greater. How they together with Mujahideen made it the last blow to union of the Soviet Socialist Republics, the superpower of the time, shattered into 15 independent states. The question is what caused the desire of US and Pakistan to revenge Russia.
The support which the free world has been providing to the freedom fighters will dwindle. The Soviets at that point will have effectively cut off the freedom fighters' lifelines, and although the Mujahideen may never surrender, the Soviets will have achieved indisputable control of the country. An entire nation will have been strangled. My friends, in the name of human freedom, we cannot, we must not allow that to happen.
During Vietnam War, the Soviet Union played a crucial role in supporting North Vietnam. From 1965 to 1973, they provided military aid, advanced weaponry, and training to North Vietnam forces. Russian military advisors were on the ground assisting in combat strategies. The supply of surface-to-air missiles made it difficult for American aircrafts to operate over Vietnam's airspace. The war's toll on the United States led to protests, and in 1973, the Paris Peace Accords were signed, resulting in the withdrawal of American troops. In 1975, North Vietnam's massive offense led to the fall of Saigon and ultimate defeat of the United States. Russia's involvement in the conflict significantly contributed to the war's outcome and had a long-lasting scar to the American proud nation. Meanwhile, during the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War and the disintegration of Pakistan, the Soviet Union took a proactive role in supporting India and blocking assistance to Pakistan. On December 6, 1971, the United States deployed the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise to the Bay of Bengal to support Pakistan. However, the Soviet Union dispatched its own naval fleet, led by aircraft carrier Q, to counter the American presence and prevent direct American involvement in the conflict. In December 1971, Russia utilized its veto power twice in the United Nations Security Council to block resolutions against India's action in East Pakistan. This prevented any meaningful UN intervention in the situation. Russia's active support for India, both militarily and diplomatically, played a significant role in preventing external intervention and bolstering India's efforts during the 1971 Indo-Pakistani War, ultimately leading to the creation of Bangladesh and disintegration of Pakistan. The US-Vietnam War and the Indo-Pak War of 1971 left deep wounds in the United States and Pakistan, fostering a desire for revenge and a favored battleground. In 1981, an opportunity presented itself when Russia invaded Afghanistan. This invasion became the battleground where the long-awaited vengeance of the US and Pakistan against Russia for past conflicts was sought. Let's quickly talk through why Russia invaded Afghanistan. There were several reasons which led Soviet Republic to trap itself in what they call the graveyard of empires. In the 19th century, the British and Russian empires engaged in the Great Game rivalry. The Panjshir incident in 1885 heightened tensions over Afghan borders. During the 1950s and 1970s, Afghanistan sought closer ties with the Soviet Union and India due to US refusal to sell arms. This strained relationships with Pakistan, which led to proxy conflicts. After this 1978 Saur Revolution, the Marxist PDPA came to power, but it was divided into factions, Khalq and Parcham. Internal conflicts, purges, and oppositions emerged. The PDPA introduced radical reforms to modernize Afghan society, facing strong resistance and armed rebellions, especially in rural areas. In 1979, Hafizullah Amin took power in Afghanistan, but instability persisted as the opposition and rebellion grew due to his ineffective leadership. The Soviet Union signed a friendship treaty with Afghanistan in 1978, but faced complications due to factional conflicts and internal unrest. As the rebellion spread, Afghanistan sought military support from Soviet Union, started with small units. Due to the deteriorating situation and concerns about Amin's leadership, the Soviet Union finally decided for full-scale military intervention in Afghanistan. And there, US and Pakistan had the much-desired moment for the long-awaited revenge. It was a cold winter's day of December 27, 1979. The Soviet forces crossed the Afghan border in armed convoys. The rugged mountain passes echoed with the thunderous roar of Mi-8 and Mi-14 helicopters and other modern military hardware as the clash between Russia and Afghan Mujahideen began. Following this invasion, General Zia, the president of Pakistan, the once called the ringmaster and the master tactician, chaired a meeting with military heads and made no secret about his intentions of monetarily and militarily aiding the Afghan resistance, the Mujahideen, with major assistance from the United States of America. The decision was made, and General Zia reportedly said at the end of the meeting, "We will bleed Russia with 1,000 cuts." The world underestimated the intensity of this conflict. What they seemed distant soon evolved into a prolonged and heart-wrenching struggle, leaving an indelible mark on both nations. Now, how did the revenge group take benefit of this opportunity? The United States of America and Pakistan formed a strategic alliance, setting up intelligence directorates to handle intelligence matters despite their historical hostilities. Israel also joined this cooperation, establishing intelligence offices at their respective embassies in Washington. In the early 1980s, Pakistani President General Zia directed ISI to initiate contact with Israel's Mossad, marking the beginning of Israeli-Pakistan intelligence collaboration. Together with MI6 and the CIA, the ISI and Mossad carried out covert anti-Soviet operation in Afghanistan known as Operation Cyclone. During this operation, Israel provided Soviet-made weaponry to the Afghan Mujahideen engaged in guerrilla warfare against the Soviet forces. During this decade-long war, Pakistan, the United States, and Israel played significant roles supporting the Afghan Mujahideen resistance.
It's a courtesy call.
I don't need courtesy. I need airplanes, guns, and money.
Well, we just doubled the CIA budget for covert ops.
From 5 million to 10 million.
That's right.
Is that a joke?
The United States is eager to assist you.
No, you're not. You're not. Absolutely not.
Well, it's my understanding that we offered to sell you F-16s. You didn't want them.
Because you refuse to sell us the radar.
So to hell with that.
You sell us the planes, but not the radar.
You sell the Israelis the radar. So that's why he says, to hell with it.
Again, I understood. Yeah.
Also, the arms and funding should flow through us. We have experience with warfare of this kind. And your CIA has an unimpressive track record.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
They missed 130,000 Soviet soldiers walking into Afghanistan.
Against the Soviet forces, Pakistani Central Intelligence Agency became a crucial conduit for channeling foreign aid to the Mujahideen. The US provided extensive financial and military aid to the Mujahideen, with total assistance estimated at around $3 billion throughout the war. This assistance included weapons, ammunition, communication equipment, and training. Pakistan acted as a major intermediary in the conflict and received such substantial aid from the US and other Western countries. The aid to Pakistan for supporting the Mujahideen reached nearly $3.2 billion. The ISI played a critical role in coordinating the flow of military and financial aid to the Mujahideen. They facilitated the training of Afghan fighters and coordinated their operations against Soviet forces. The ISI also helped in setting up training camps for Mujahideen inside Pakistani territory. Prominent people, including General Akhtar Abdul Rahman and General Hamid Gul, one after another, who took the charge of ISI, further intensified the Pakistan's involvement in the supporting Mujahideen. These three countries' collective efforts, along with the resilience of Afghan Mujahideen, contributed to Soviet Union's eventual withdrawal from Afghanistan in 1989. The Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan had profound and wide-ranging consequences affecting the perception of military actions, the strength of the armed forces, the legitimacy of the government, the level of openness within the country, and overall economic stability. These combined effects ultimately played a crucial role in shaping the course of history and eventual disintegration of Soviet Union. The war, which lasted from 1979 to 1989, drained significant resources and manpower from Soviet economy and military. The protracted conflict, coupled with other internal issues, weakened the Soviet Union's stability and eroded its global influence. The Soviet Afghan War was more than a regional conflict. It became a battlefield of revenge for US and Pakistan. The desire to settle old scores against Russia for the US-Vietnam War and the disintegration of Pakistan in 1971 was fulfilled through their alliance and support to the Afghan Mujahideen. The war had far-reaching consequences not only for the Soviet Union, but also for international dynamics in the region. The Revenge Alliance played a crucial role in shaping the course of history and ultimately contributed to the disintegration of the Soviet Union in 1991, leaving a profound impact on the world.